Hello guys, welcome back here for the DreamHack Open Qualifiers, and we have ourselves a flip side. They just defeated Embrace, and of course Dignitas were able to defeat the Swedish mixed team of Vingen, which was Twist, Palf, Dumas, Benji, and Zende. So those guys have played together, you know, on and off all the time. So they were a formidable foe for Dignitas to take down, but they did, and they took them down 2-0, and they were using dupreeh as a stand-in for Kjaerbye. Definitely not a downgrade by any stretch of the imagination, but it's always hard when someone won't know your executes and the role. Like, how does he fit the role that Kjaerbye leaves open? I guess to be fair, Kjaerbye is quite the fragger. Like he's a main fragger for the team, and dupreeh is for TSM a big entry fragger and just generally an awesome fragger. So I guess it can kind of make sense. I don't know. Danish teams, they've all played a billion times together anyway, right? So.
Yeah,
anyway.
well, we'll see how they do in this match.
Yeah, Flipside. I think Flipside, definitely props to them because they've been pretty shaky recently, and just generally they're not so consistent. But today they definitely showed that they're in it to win it, because I think that Embrace were like a really hard test, because you got a group of like really solid aimers who were playing as a team. It's not easy to overcome, and Flipside did so, even though it went 16-11 I think on the last map, Mirage. But we are in to this one now.
Interesting fact about Dignitas. If you just write Dignitas, it's a small d. But if you write Team Dignitas, Dan, then it's a big D.
It's a big D.
The more you know.
I used to be in Team Dignitas. It was the first team that I signed a contract for back in my gamering days when I was a top-level player in the Quake days. I was still quite a top-level player in Quake days, that are current, but this is no one that plays Quake anymore, James.
Yeah, I'm actually a top-level player in Ricochet, Dan.
God damn.
I'm probably the best active player, actually.
How dare you sully my achievements?
You know me, any opportunity to troll will be taken.
I actually never won a... I went to a lot of grand finals, some of which on LAN as well, but I never won one. Always second, Jay. I've always been second.
Dan, you'll always be first to me. No homo.
Well, that's good to know.
Some small consolation.
Okay, so we have Inferno. So actually, producer Reese, can you give us the maps actually? He is currently searching for the maps, guys.
I think he's watching porn, Dan.
So I'm just going to give you guys this lowdown. Okay, so Dignitas picked Inferno, Flipside picked Cobble, and Dignitas picked Cash. Flipside picked Mirage, and Train will be decided. I think we're going to 5 maps, James.
Inferno, Cobble, Cash, Mirage, Train. It's going to be a long day, Dan. Another long day.
I think we should go 5 maps. So go into 5 maps, guys. I'm pretty sure. Inferno, it's hard to call who will win Inferno, actually. I guess Inferno is probably the most up
Can we
in the
mute the game sound for a second? Because all this violence is making me thirsty.
This is thirsty for what?
I don't know.
For what exactly?
For a drink, Dan.
What kind of a drink?
A drink that would quench my thirst.
A cocktail of death and destruction. So Inferno, Dignitas' choice. You would expect Dignitas and Flipside to actually go fairly close on this one. This map can come down so much to economy sometimes. Sometimes teams can just get completely money screwed, and it just sucks. It sucks for the teams, it sucks for the viewers, because they can never get their rounds really rolling in. So you never know if that can happen or not. Cobble, I feel like Flipside should have an advantage there. They seem pretty good in Cobble. They've actually been picking this consistently. Like against Na'Vi, they were able to take it against Na'Vi as well. They picked against Na'Vi. Actually, no, Na'Vi won against them, but they played really well. So never mind. Never mind that.
So Dignitas picked Cash.
And then yeah, Dignitas picked Cash. We saw, of course, Flipside struggling there against Embrace. But then again, that was Embrace's best map, and they were able to beat Kingwin there amongst the other top teams. So I don't know, like it's really difficult to really call this one on maps, but I feel like it's pretty close across the board. But we're going to go into the pistol, so we can stop yabbering on about future predictions and prospective results. And instead,
I think maybe we should try and restart the CSGO if we get a second. See if the footsteps come back. The one tap from aizy.
We have footsteps.
We have some footsteps.
Oh, that's enough.
I'm actually having a knife fight on aizy across deathmatch servers on the internet. And he is currently on a 3-2 lead. But his time will come. Actually, I've seen Pimp on deathmatch a lot recently as well. Me deathmatch in the same circles, but I always lose the duels, almost. So this is pretty much slowed down to a halt here, Dan. Not much to say. One person is dead. That's my analysis.
They're like, how do we Counter-Strike? How do we Counter-Strike?
Flipside are just standing around. What more can be said? Flipside is standing around and Dignitas are standing around. Flipside slowly eking out some map control, funnily enough heading towards Arch as Nico starts to wander and heads towards a more passive angle, trying to avoid the numbers, keeps off a sliver to play with, using that post to his advantage, but he will not be able to stop that push.
Still standing around, but they have a good setup though to do so. Pits, graveyard, very nice. Pimp gonna take a couple headshots there. Is bondik moving close? bondik has been beasting here. Oh, gonna go for the knife! And bondik's gonna just shove that knife in Pimp's face. And he will get the bomb plant just in the nick of time here. And it's gonna be to clutch us against two oncoming players. No time to play the bomb time. It's gonna have to be the frags. There's number one. Last player's got no HP, but bondik will close the headshot. 4 kills for bondik. This guy is having a good day.
So you can see Markelov timed out during that round after dying, of course. So Flipside with a few issues here to sort out. So we may be a bit delayed in this match resuming, but a good start there for Flipside. Nice clutch by Flipside at the end to take the pistol, which is going to be important as they start on the T side. But yeah, very interesting. Normally you see a lot more movement in the pistol, early on in Inferno, but fairly static for both teams. Even at frag on Arch, there was no rotation from the B player straight away. Possibly looking for potential rap, but there was no rap then. Speaking of raps.
What do you like in your raps, James? Chicken.
I just had a rap.
I like chicken in mine.
No, I didn't have a rap. Producer Reese had a rap. I had a burrito, which is like a larger rap. Let's be honest.
It's basically a rap. It is basically a rap. But guys, we have to see how this match is going to go. I mean, with Flipside, they actually had problems with Markelov previously. It actually almost cost them really, really
What
poorly.
do you mean, internet problems or what kind of problems?
Yeah, because Markelov, there was a round where they were playing on map 3 against Embrace on Mirage, and it was a super important buy round for them, and Markelov just times out, and they just get completely wrecked in the round. It's like their CT economy is like a super important round. They get destroyed and they can barely buy up into the next round. They don't pause or anything because Markelov was coming back. I'm not sure what the issue was, but he reconnected straight away. And they managed to just win that round when he came back. So it's kind of lucky because if they would lose that one round, then they'd probably lose the game because they're in the pits on the money completely. So
we should take this opportunity to restart the game here as well to see if those sounds come back. Just a quick pointer to Mr. Reese over there. So it's been a busy week for us, Dan. And we have a busy week ahead as well. Some things which...
I'm dying, Giants.
Yeah. The details will come in due course. And hey, Southeast Asia, how about that? We had a great start. Again, if you are not aware of this, FACEIT has launched a platform in the Southeast Asia region that was launched just a few days ago, and there are a hell of a lot of people playing there already. In fact, they maxed out the servers on day one. They had to add new servers immediately.
Yeah, it was like 60 ongoing straight away, wasn't it?
Yeah, which means 600 players just boom, straight away, let's go. Playing on there. So they had to expand to allow for more users to play. We had, like day one, we had this Japanese user who basically wrote a blog in Japanese to help Japanese people who maybe not be as proficient in English as he is to link their accounts and get playing on FACEIT. Really awesome stuff. Nice community presence already in Southeast Asia. Lots of different countries there getting involved, so that's really good stuff. And of course, we have open qualifiers already in the region. I think that the guy who wrote that blog, or maybe the other guy who retweeted his link to it, was from a Japanese team, actually, a Japanese Counter-Strike team. So I'm hoping that we'll see those. We're going to have open qualifiers to a small tournament with $1,500 on the line for Southeast Asia, which will be coming soon. If you are in that region, you can see the details of those on the platform. I believe there are 2 qualifiers for that, so check it out. But that's really good stuff,
Yeah, I mean, I think... we had actually an AMA from one of those guys from that. There's a Japanese team that are quite they are always looking to shine light on their community and always looking to shine light on their professional scene, which is, I mean, I guess you can't really call it necessarily a professional scene yet because they don't have a huge circulation of teams. They're not, consistently flying out to events. Like, I guess, Oceania is just barely in that region.
Yeah.
Because even their professional teams don't have a lot of support because it's such a small community. Because of obvious reasons. Like, it's the same with North America. North America has always struggled. Europe was always okay. Like with 1.6 and CS Source and stuff, it was always okay. But like historically, I mean, the weird thing for me is, right, to add some context here, is that I've been around since like 2000 or something in like the esports realm. So I've seen everything come and go, and I've seen all the hardships and the different phases that have come in. Because like in 2010, that's when we had the biggest influx of new viewers and people interested in esports because of the streaming platforms, because of Twitch TV, right? And then StarCraft 2, everyone's like, oh, holy crap, this is amazing. This is really, really awesome. But back before then, before 2010, it was like the dark ages for many years. Like 2000 to 2003 was super amazing. Loads of people were really interested. There was loads of money, in fact. Like we had like prize pools for like Quake 3 of like $60,000 and stuff like this. There was
that's a lot of money.
People were taking like $50,000 home from like winning a Quake 3 tournament, for example. And the same with Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike had much bigger prize pools. Then it went to like, if you had like a 5 to 10K prize pool for like many, many years, that was amazing all of a sudden. And so, in that period, before the streaming revolution, the initial hype of all these games died out in many scenes. And North America suffered in Counter-Strike and in Quake. And they also places like, Oceania also suffered. But Europe always had some tight-knit communities. I guess because we're close together. We're really close together. It's easy for us to play together. So,
yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it's a bit of a diatribe there, but yeah, it's really interesting if you've been around for a long time.
I have a question for you actually. There's a new Unreal tournament coming out, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to play it?
Maybe. I didn't really ever play Unreal tournament because I never liked the movement. I know that Stammy did. For those who know Stammy, what's his title at FACEIT? It's like Chief
Chief Gaming Officer. He's the CGO.
He's like the Khan of FACEIT, I guess. Yeah, actually, I guess so. That contrast actually makes sense because Khan, of course, like used to be a famous professional player.
Yeah.
And the same with Sturmy. Like, of course, he's still the most famous professional player in Italy. Came like third in the Painkiller World Tour. If anyone remembers that, that was like a huge deal. That was a huge deal. Fatality won that, and he got $250,000 just for that one stop, for that one tournament, for one dude.
That's insane.
It's pretty sick. I think the second place was like $100,000, which Vu got. I think Sturmy got 75 grand for that. So for third place.
Bish bash bosh.
Pretty good.
Nice little clean up.
Back in 2004. So
I've never won $75,000, Dan.
No, nor have I.
I've never won $7,000, Dan.
Yeah.
Or even $1,000. In fact, the most I won ever was when I went to Vegas. I played a $65 poker tournament as soon as I landed, and I won it for $950.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
It's my shining moment there.
Best thing.
Playing the degenerates in Vegas. Because they are degenerates.
Well, that's how you make money. I had a friend who would play poker online, and the way that he would handle things is his sleeping schedule would be based on, I'm going to start my day when all the drunk Americans are on. That was basically what he would do.
Yeah, that is a popular.
Yeah.
People they just shove. When I was in France on a company trip, and there was a guy who was just trying to buy pots basically with crap cards, but everyone was just calling him down, and he was losing loads of money. Then he started shouting at the dealer and stuff. I never managed to get on the table. I was the next in queue for the table for 2 hours. I was just sitting there like, just watching all the money swim away, Dan.
Yeah.
Swim away.
Yeah.
So we're being told that Flipside are getting a sub in, presumably for Markelov. You saw he timed out there. Simple had some issues before the game started, but Markelov's the one having them in the game, which is a shame as it's a best of 5. This is a long game, but who knows? Maybe he can come back for a later stage. But I'm wondering who they're going to get. Is it going to be like Davcost, or who did they use for another tournament recently? It was Cyber Focus. In fact,
maybe they get
funny thing
Waterfalls.
Is, Lerpis thought that Simple and Cyber Focus were the same person.
Oh, really?
Because he thought there was maybe some kind of ban evasion going on there. But Cyber Focus, in fact, has its own little, highlight reels. Seized is coming in to play. That'll be cool.
That's an interesting choice, isn't it? The entry.
They all play mixes together and stuff, though. Yeah. So.
Well, that's the funny thing, right? I made this point to you off camera the other day. Whenever we have Na'Vi playing Flipside, Guardian always speaks in like perfect English to them, despite being from the same place as just being.
Well, Guardian's from the Czech Republic.
Exposed. I got exposed. I guess that would be the reason.
He's Slovak.
I guess that would be the reason.
So even I'm a bit wrong there. But
you're onto the right lines.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know how, because the thing is, right? I know a Serbian guy, and he's like, well, I kind of understand almost all of the Eastern European languages, like about 5 or 6 different languages. Even because it's just based off of his language, based off Serbian, he's used to interpreting what, like he wouldn't be able to speak them, but he can understand them. So maybe that's like the
like Ali factor, maybe?
The situation there.
Because Ali's a Finn, but he speaks in English and listens in Swede. Done.
I don't know. Well, of course he can understand some Swedish, but they do speak. They teach Swedish in Finnish school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do. So
makes sense.
But it's like it'd be like, for example, if you join a French team. Okay, the English education. Let's not get started on English education system, okay?
My French was really good once. My French was really good. I got straight A's in primary school, but then secondary school, Dan, my school was not a good school. We did not have good teachers.
So
French went down the drain. I spent my time throwing dictionaries at people.
So it would be like you going.
I literally spent my time throwing dictionaries at people.
To envious and trying to understand their calls.
Hey man, I know my à gauche, à droite. La flash, la flash. That's what Kenya says. La flash, la flash.
Allez à gauche, allez à gauche.
La flash. Okay, so we're back and we've got Seized. We've got stand-ins all over the place. dupreeh and Seized. Cameo appearances here at the DreamHack Qualifiers. Best of 5, map 1. Got dupreeh with the Ron Jeremy skin there. Just having a butchers. He's close enough for the one-tap, and he's going to... Well, not the one-tap, but he's going to get the kill regardless. Good start there on this force buy of the Danish side. Some information found for flip side, and one player taken down. So the CT smoke's coming in, and we'll see the Dignitas guys move back away. And they're going to get caught short as they're going to push. Flipside will push straight through the smoke there, and that's going to be an open B bomb site. So damage taken. However, they have control. They have the smokes, and they have Seized watching the flank, which means the 2 players on site can just concentrate on CT with a crossfire. We've got a Heath and Potty setup going on. Seized starting to rotate to the site as well. We still have dupreeh far away from B. So it looks like Nico's just trying to play for exits for now, although I imagine he'll probably want to try and save his armor a bit later on. More that it's going to go down Banana, which they know is secure thanks to Seized's position. So there may be no exits here for Nico.
Terrorists win.
The grill will never be the same again, because some C4 has been detonated, and there'll be no more barbecue for you. No more. 2-0. We have ourselves a full save from Dignitas. Ooh, we got the shoes are off again, James. Just running.
It must be a Go TV.
Running in the socks on the carpet.
Yeah.
Ninja
Segways. They've got electric segways. No petrol. Hybrids, maybe. So another anti-eco push. We don't see many Novas these days, I have to say.
R.I.P. Big Papa Pump. R.I.P. Well, it's going to be a pretty easy entry from Flipside. They don't have much to contest with. Just mowing down these pistol and poor Nico gets his brains splattered all over the blue track. Now red with his blood.
So Pimp, the only one remaining here with the Muertos P250, which I kind of liked a bit, but I think it's just too deep a red, Dan. I no longer use it.
I have it and use it.
I'm using... I don't know what I'm using. I'm using the contamination from Cash, and I call it, Dan, Polonium 210. I have names for almost all my skins. I'm a skin namer. I'm a namer of the skins. Buy round coming in for Dignitas now. And again, we've seen this many times today. It's going to be the hard buy, lacking the nades. No AWP either. Just, they've almost got identical buys here. aizy with the additional flashbang. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. Flipside going to try and get any damage in for anyone holding angles. try and identify to set up the approach of Dignitas over towards the B-bomb sites.
So they're just taking over apartments and banana. Next thing on the list is taking over mids. So we should see that, unless... It'd be nice if they could get a frag, actually, but we're going to get a pop flash information play from Dignitas. And I got to say, Danish teams are really, really good at this. It's a very simple thing, and people do not do it enough. Information is a huge battle. It is a massive war to actually understand what's going on.
I like the additional bit they made with the second flash bounced off the piece of wood there. So if anyone, say car, for example, they're not getting flashed by the first one, but they should get flashed by the second. So good attention to detail by Dignitas there, which is often missing. Normally you see this flash over the top, but they've got one down the bottom as well.
And so the information they just got on banana is that there is one guy there at the bottom of banana. That's what they just learned. So, and it's at 45 seconds. So that means that it's very likely the other players are towards apps and middle at the moment. If a double back is possible into B, which it is, then they'd have to already start doing it now. So we're going to have to see if Dignitas will start the rotation here as they do spot Flipside moving in with Blade. This is going to be the guy that tells them everything. As here it is. Nico's going to get the peek, and we start to have the rotation come in. As there's 10 seconds to get the bomb down, it will be planted. Nico's going to spot one head at the back of the site. And whether there are two players, good reaction. Gets the kill. 3-on-2 now in favor of Dignitas. However, these engagements might be in some sense favorable for Flipside, as they have to be peeked onto by these CTs. But the CTs are doing quite well, and it will be the defuse, so never mind that.
Seeing some nice pop flashes from Dignitas all across the map again. We mentioned the ones already over towards B, but you sort of play from pit. Just throw a flash off the door on the balcony, which, because of the angle, went into quad, which allowed his teammate behind the truck to go for the peek, which is very nice. But I mean, doing that, you could peek himself as well from the pit area. So nice little touches by Dignitas. Lots of attention to detail, which is good to see. And they get their first round on the board. Nico going straight for the AWP in the following round. You can see they've got more Molotovs available now, but the double mollies, sorry, more nades available to them. Double mollies coming out on banana to get control of it. However, we have seasoned bondik beyond the smoke at the bottom of banana already.
It's going to be a good nade there to Logs, and that will help finish off Blade as the bullets do pile into him. So 3-1 is the score at the moment, and Dignitas could be starting the comeback trail already. Straight away, not letting Flipside establish an economy. Simple moving up for an entry. He needs to get something done here. Looks for the pick. He'll spot the AWPer, and he still has his life. But that means he can push up forward. Have a forward position in mid if he wants, as the AWPer has fallen back. But he is going to fall back here, which indicates that they want to go for the B play. And the reason for this is because there's too many angles to check to clear A effectively with just 3 players, with no picks. So B is the only option that makes sense. And to see if they are going to be clean picks here onto the bomb site. But at this rate, just getting a bomb down and losing the round is also acceptable.
30 seconds remaining. We're seeing Nico rotating towards B as well. So Flipside with a few nades, but they're moving in very slowly indeed. There isn't really time for them to sell a full fake. However, Nico, a bit of doubt in his mind, was heading back towards A, but he's still close enough into B to make a difference once his smoke dissipates. In the meantime, we're going to have 2 people being picked on the B bomb site. So now it's Flipside with a bit of an advantage here. Nico holding the angle, not finding the frag onto C's, however. He's going to shoot him in the head through the wall. So, one-man disadvantage now as well, that it hides behind the car. Pimp trying to come in and pre-fire. He's going to take the frag. Now 2 versus 2 retake. C's flashing himself in, going to slow down the push of Dignitas here. Last 2 being cleaned up by Flipside, and they make it work in the dying seconds of the round. Yeah,
I like that pop flash from C's actually. I don't know if did you catch that, James?
I did, yeah, I mentioned it. We're seeing all the pop flashes today.
Yeah, that particular pop flash I've actually not seen before into construction. It's really cool. There you go. We got the Dig on MSL. And generally speaking, it's going to be a tough hold here for Dignitas now. Not being able to establish the economy. Now, how do Flipside manage this situation? Have to move together. Don't want to get caught off guard. Both C's and what are they moving into the apps there to try to get the pick? I think it was simple. Yeah. You're going to actually clean out apartments as well. So nobody down. Nice stuff from Flipside. Just Nico left, and he should go down pretty soon as well. So buy up for Dignitas in the following round. They'll be a little bit low on nades. Again, you'd expect Flipside to probably slow. Actually, no, they shouldn't be low on nades. No, okay, they will be low, fairly low on nades. Depending on which wet rifles they buy. If they get FAMASs, then they... Here they're going to go for another save, actually. And that's kind of nice. I think they respect the fact that if they wanted nades, they'd have to buy FAMASs, and they probably just want to go, hey, we want the full buy. And they got 5 HEs, James.
So we had a discussion about force buys and ecos at the moment, but this is somewhere in the middle. I'd say it's closer to an eco than a force buy because they've left a lot of money in the bank.
It's Nico. It's Nico.
Exactly. The whole class would agree there.
Yeah, they want around 5.56k for the next rounds.
Again, large presence from Flipside towards Banana, and that frag will cause a rotation from MSL back towards A. You can see Flipside starting to creep. Again, using the nades wisely there to clear out all the sneaky corners while they're going to hold the flank from Banana, so the guys mid don't need to watch their backs necessarily. Should have a free frag here. Going to have a slight indication first from the shadow that the player was coming, which is always handy. Always be aware of the direction of the shadows on maps. Cannot see your own shadow, but you can see everyone else's.
That's kind of weird, isn't it?
It's
actually really weird because it means that all the shadows are displaying, except the game is choosing not to display yours to you, which is kind of weird. It feels like it should by default. No, I don't know anything about game design, or game developing, but still.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one.
So Pimp gets a cheat kill there. dupreeh will get sprayed down. So 6-1 to Flipside. This is a monster T-half, but again, it's a game of 2, and we'll have to see if Dignitas can execute. But I mean, they could still, this could still finish 9-6 for Dignitas. So while it's a good start for Flipside, Dignitas could entirely get back into this round, into this half.
The shadow thing is actually an interesting discussion point. We have to think about that later. We're going to have a pick attempt from Nico. He's going to pull it off as well. He's going to go down. WorldEdit still has the ult though. And Dignitas trying to push Flipside down, but it's not going to happen. Flipside really want to push Dignitas back. We've seen the investment that they have put towards Banana here, and it's to get these trades. And that is pretty devastating right now because Flipside are going to have the B bomb site. The bomb will be a little bit delayed, but that's okay because they'll have a good defensive positioning there. Although that said, if Nico is really fast here, which he is looking to be, he might get an angle on these players as they go onto the site. They need to be able to smoke off coils at the moment to get the bomb planted. Now, ooh, that's such a good frag there by bondik. That should save the round here for Flipside. They still have a smoke on WorldEdit and a Molotov on bondik.
Yeah, I was going to say that they would have had the cue from the flashbang that someone was close, but that pick came all too fast. dupreeh stuck behind a paper-thin wall of smoke. Now he's going to make his way onto the site. It's a nice flash, but aizy, that no-scope from WorldEdit going to be absolutely outrageous, and there's a second one to clean up the round and clean up all the weapons from Dignitas and put them back in a sticky situation. We have 4 rounds in a row now for Flipside against Dignitas, who are going to go for a sizable eco. A sizable buy for almost nothing, Dan.
Yeah, this is what we talked about.
Very sizable.
About how the economy can really screw you over. Dignitas won a round and then just immediately lost it again, and that's so painful. We'll have to see if they can bring things back together, but for now, Flipside, they've been handling their ecos, anti-ecos very, very well. Every single time they've had an anti-eco situation, they've played it almost to a T. They haven't actually lost people. Have a quick headshot there from aizy. That's going to be a nice opening. But the trades come in. Anything else here from Dignitas? Perhaps a couple players left alive. Will they get any more frags? Well, actually 2 kills is 2 deaths is perfectly acceptable. Flipside should have loads of cash actually. So Dignitas need to get a couple more frags. Ooh, they lined up pretty well there as well.
Yeah, that really could have gone either way, but he was blind for just long enough for it not to. And look at that insta hunt from Flipside. And MSL does have the AK as well. He's picked up the AK, and they do not want him to retain. So they will find him. Well, they will seek him, but will they find him? He's in a position where he could actually pop some heads here. So a quick look at the economy at least. After this engagement, we'll have a look at the economy for both teams. But MSL's been found, and now he's stuck between A number of guns. Well, did he spot him there? Oh, he spotted him now. That is a dead MSL with 4 people surviving for Flipside. So they're rolling in cash at the moment. Cash and Nutella, Dan, all mixed together, and they're just rolling all over it.
Why the Nutella?
If you're rolling, you need Nutella, man. If you're rolling in something, you got to get Nutella involved. It's just fun. Or so I hear.
I think you should get some olive oil in there as well.
AWP for both sides. And there's another failed grenade to add to the many that we see from all teams these days.
Yeah, this makes it actually a little bit awkward, and they might decide to just abandon this setup because it's not perfect as they have rehearsed as they'd like it, maybe. So, I'll have to see. They do have a few smokes left, 3 smokes left, just a minute and 15 seconds left into the round. So, they would like to try to delay here before using an additional smoke or 2. That would be perfect. Having a smoke from the guy on Arch side, it is Nico. He doesn't have any smoke. Okay, so they can't get a smoke from the guy on Arch. 5 and 4, so we've got aizy and MSL. Okay, they both have smokes on Banana, so that is a pretty nice situation for them. And it's going to be Banana smoked off, middle smoked off. Good delay there from Dignitas on the mid smoke. And looks like, are we going to get a fake here from Flipside? They're throwing in a bunch of nades towards B here, trying to maybe force a bit of a rotate from one of the players in pit. And that could have allowed for a pick from Flipside as they move through apartments. And indeed, we're getting a float through to CT spawn. But now I think they've realized that it's actually more of an A play. We have a reposition back to library side for that player who was floating. That's a great entry from Blade. He's really been on point for the team. Also the in-game leader here, C's going to drop in and spray down dupreeh. Going for the taps there as Nico tries to get some extra damage done as the bomb should go down momentarily. And it is going to be a plant by C's in the nick of time.
Look at Bondik's position. He could stop MSL here. MSL looking for the potential flank. He's going to find him, but it's going to be Bondik to win that duel. Puts himself and his team in a man advantage. aizy pushing through the smoke with a flashbang. Going to get a free kill onto the site. 2 versus 2 now. Bondik still far away, but Simple holding things down on his own. 2 frags for him. And that's another round in the bag for Flipside. Absolutely romping it at the moment. And shout out to Blade. He is really playing excellent all day today.
Recently, he's been playing amazing. I don't know what's going on, but we're seeing him taking all these fragging opportunities and actually executing them so well. 9-1 is the score. He's also got, by the way, like, a lot of clutch factor to him. Like, Blade in a clutch is really good, which is really cool to see. I think all the in-game leaders have different skill sets. For example, Existence more of a sniper. I think that's a great secondary skill set, but we're going to have Pimp opening things up here in the apartments. Before I could really finish that point, so we can come back to it later on. In-game leader skill sets.
I wonder how old he was when he decided he was going to be a pimp. He must have been pretty young, Dan. 4 versus 4 now. Still 2 people for Dignitas over towards the B bomb site. You can see aizy moving to try and find some information. And they will decide that one person should rotate. dupreeh finding another frag onto Simple, who pushes through that smoke. They're going to leave aizy on the B bomb site on his own for now. MSL trying to hold Arch. Should anyone need to try and breach it? Bondik won't make it out of the apps, and this looks like a second round on the board here for Dignitas, finally, after a string of defeats here by Flipside.
And the key thing there is that they only lost a couple players. Of course, if they lose this round, they're still going to be on eco, but it's going to keep them on grenades, basically, and they won't have to go for too many drops. The only real losses, the FAMAS and the lack of an AWP. Either way, though, they have a strong chance this round, but they have to make it happen here. If they don't make this round happen, Flipside can go 13-2. That is really possible if they do not win this round. So, very important one for Dignitas to try to bring things back to 6-9. They would need 4 rounds in a row. Now, at the moment, there's no banana control for Flipside. They have shown a lot of banana control in the past rounds, even if they did go for an A execute. So,
look at the bodies over towards quad and pit, quad and apps for Flipside. They've got 2 in apps, but there's a nice setup here for Dignitas with someone in pit and in the and on the site itself, and dupreeh's going to get a second frag. MSL coming in as well, so loads of fragging coming out for Dignitas, but C's has gone absolutely bananas on the A site. He's the only one left, however. He needs to find 3 more, but he can at least get a plant and get some bonus money. But he'll be more concerned with doing damage to the CT economy. Again, they've only won 2 rounds, one of which after a string of rounds from Flipside, I think 6.
This is nice, actually. He's not planting because he doesn't want to give them some free position. If they hear the plant sound, they know they can move in, and that's a worse situation for Seized. He knows he has to make some frags. So that was really smart from Dignitas and from Seized in that position. Seized cannot... I mean, a lot of players would just plant there to get the guaranteed money. Flipside already have a lot of money to play with. He's playing to win the round because it's so important. Again, if they would have won that round, Dignitas are not buying. They're probably making 13-2, sorry. So I love the way that Seized played that.
Alright, so we had dupreeh heading towards B, but he's going back towards A now, so maybe a bit of indecision there. There is a push from Banana from Flipside. There's a number of plays. Again, the battle for control is real. MSL going to spot someone by tree, and nades are going to come in, force him away from the position. It's either do or die there. Do run away or die to the nades. But the battle will continue. This
is actually a really good thing to do for Flipside. They noted that they had a lot of success in the rounds in which they took banana control, and sometimes they were able to force mistakes out from the B players. So that could be a potential edge to gain. They've gone back to this kind of style where they slowly take apartments. And apartments has been relatively free as well. Dignitas have not been playing forward there. So they're taking apartments for free again. So this is the kind of timing where you normally expect them to begin moving up towards the middle area. So this is why Nico is ready with this Molotov. He's going to toss it in straight away. Because this is the timing that you would expect them to be moving into mid, but they're not doing it. So we might see a float now from Dignitas preemptively towards that B area. But right now Dignitas have no information. There's no pop flash. They have been like smoking it off repeatedly. Now will Flipside go through the smoke? They got 30 seconds, so they're pretty committed now. Oh, that is dirty.
Yeah, we had counter flashes coming in from Dignitas, but all too late. WorldEdit finding the frag. MSL trying to push through the smoke. There's one frag, two frags, gets traded. And they still have a CT on the B bomb site. That's Nico stuck behind the smoke at the moment. The plant will go down. Pimp's going to join him in construction, trying to find a frag through the smoke, but nothing will catch on there. We've got a late flank from dupreeh. Down banana. Now a man advantage as well.
Simple just running through the smoke there. Very interesting choice. And then C's running through the smoke as well. Not sure what's going on there, but Blade is left to clutch it. It's no stranger to clutches. There's number 2. There's one more player quick to his position, and he cannot pull it off this time. But he has done a very, very large amount of damage. And Flipside have lost 2 in a row now, so that's going to be 1900. No, it'll be their third. Will it be their first? No, their second loss in a row. Is this their second or third, James?
First, second, or third what?
Lost in a row. Okay. Okay, so they got 2,400 from that. So with the so they got $3K from that. Well, $3,200 from that round because of the bomb plant. So they could actually decide to buy up here in the face of just crushing. Actually, I don't know. Actually, what do you think? Because if
there are 2 rounds left.
Yeah.
So
it's probably not worth it. Actually,
it's either force now and try and win 2 rounds, but maybe win no rounds.
Yeah, yeah.
Or eco now and try and win 1 round with a 4 buy.
With a good chance, yeah. With like an even chance versus...
They're going in, Dan. They are going all in. To be honest, they had a fair amount of money on them. Yeah, and if they feel like... With 9 rounds on the T side, they've got to be feeling confident about it. There's probably no reason for them to go for the more passive play.
That's exactly right. It's a position which gives you, it affords you the opportunity to take more risks because you've got the buffer to be safe on. And I love that decision. Again, when you're playing against really good teams, you can't just play safe all the time. You have to try to use your advantages correctly and find the right spots to gamble in. This was also a skill set or a way to read the game that makes certain AWPers incredibly smart players. Because AWPing is a lot about how you take certain gambles. But generally, the game is about taking risks. It's very much like poker in that sense. You never know exactly where the other players are going to be, how they're going to play a situation. Sometimes you just got to risk it. And Flipside, they're not doing anything in banana at the moment. They are going up apartments, looking like they want to take middle early on in the rounds. Something that they haven't been able to do for a while.
So far, smoked off. CT still with 2 smokes in the bag. And they are both on the B bomb site, actually. So mid should be opening up for them very soon indeed. They will however, have to watch out for mollies. Actually, no, just flashbangs. All the other nades are over towards B. So only flashbangs for the players on the A site. And now Flipside have control of top mid and have pushed the Dignitas players back. They're going to poke around at B as well. Maybe just to stop them putting the extra man over towards A. Although Nico... starting to wonder. On Pimp looking for information, and the information he has found, but how much? All the frags coming in now. Dignitas with a man advantage. Still control of both sides. Rotation coming in. The full rotation coming in. Bomb being planted on A. And only 2 players left here for Flipside. Evening things up now. aizy and MSL versus Blade and bondik.
Yeah, dupreeh getting those 2 kills made this doable now for Dignitas. aizy with a fantastic incendiary. That forced bondik out. bondik gets the frag though. Oh, okay, maybe that was pushed as a little bit preemptive, not letting the fire do its job. But we have an excellent save from Flipside, and now Dignitas don't have much money. We got a mag, we got a CZ, we got 2 CZs, we got a Deagle and an M4, and a distinct lack of grenades. That is very rough. What are they to do?
Nico segueing through to the A site.
Shoes have come off again.
Roller skates there. Brand new. Well oiled. Those mollies and nades and flashbangs will force the Dignitas players back to the B site. However, MSL coming in for another peek with the CZ, taking a little bit of damage here, stuck in the smoke. Oh, he is not long for this world. Only 1 player remaining. We'll have to see if Dignitas choose to rotate someone. He's getting a nice frag into the apps, but he's going to get traded by Pimp at a cost of most of his life.
Looks like they're looking quite good to take this one. At this point, they've got a potential 11th round coming up, unless Nico can do something pretty insane, because the 4 remaining players have all their life at the moment, and they have a bomb site that's completely free. So, Pimp, can you find Simple? Yes, he will get the back of Simple, and that will be the frag rewarded, or rather awarded to him. So he combines with Nico now for a 2-on-3. Again, Pimp is very, very low, but he's found himself that Galil, so perhaps he can use that to a good effect. We have a nice crossfire between WorldEdit and bondik. There we go. Player on banana as well, but the crossfire will do the job. 11-4. Flipside with a really strong T half. Very good decision making, really good execution, very good basics. They didn't do anything complicated. Some teams try to complicate things a little bit on the T side of Inferno. That did not happen from Flipside. They used their individual skill well. And they forced mistakes from their opponents by using strong basics. And now we have the second pistol round. And this is a must here, of course, for Dignitas to get themselves back into this one.
Alright, so sees an aggressive position. He's going to get completely outnumbered. Flash coming in as they've got the extra man towards B, but he's only going to get 1 frag. 2 for the price of 1 is not what Flipside want right now. The flank from Banana is coming in very quickly indeed. How much can Blade hold on for? There's 1 frag. There's another one. He gets a 3rd as well. And the Simple with the flank for the 4th onto Pimp will be a solid hold for Flipside after a very early disadvantage.
That was the thing where they weren't looking for Blade because they killed 2 players on Banana. They make that assumption that, okay, there's probably just 2 players on Banana. We killed them both at once.
They had the flash come in though for the second guy.
But it's Chaos James. Maybe they didn't... maybe they thought it came in from
where?
I don't know, James. Maybe the flash came in from the sky. From Arch side.
Jesus, through the pop flash down.
Actually, you can. Can you
Jesus.
flash? Can you flash from Arch side? I think maybe you can.
I think it's probably too far.
I don't know actually. Okay, well we'll have to experiment with that because I'm not sure.
I think it's either too far or would be the wrong angle. And
yeah.
more likely
and no one does
be
it,
behind
so
the T's and flash the CTs.
Yeah. Well, here we go. We got a pop flash there from WorldEdit to make his running gun a little bit easier. So is alive though, and so is the rest of his teammates more or less. But one will get planted. Should get planted. Will it be stopped here? No, it will not. That is a very key difference here. Side able to
simple in simple mode.
Just destroying him.
A guy just runs horns first with no brakes.
Okay, so we have ourselves the second round loss. So $1,900 plus the 800. It's going to be 2,700 for them. So what they're going to do? I think they're just going to be around 3k then. So they will need the extra eco, but they could all buy like a deagle or something. They can actually spend $1,000. Everyone can spend $1,000 and still buy next round. So that's the difference of that bomb plant, is that they're all going to be able to buy a little bit of something. So we see actually even Kevlar on Pimp. So he's going a little bit lower. So Pimp is going to be on a Galil next round, unless they get the bomb down, of course. So we'll have to see what they can accomplish with this. And this is the difference because of that bomb going down.
aizy caught in absolute no man's land there. And this buy so far has not really been that fruitful.
What's doing there, James?
Told you, he's just a bull, horns first, no brakes.
Oh, nice. But this is what we were talking about before, about Simple's decision making. I think he just gets frag hungry. Like that's just like a frag hungry play. You're playing against Dignitas, you're looking very much like you're gonna win the match, but don't start making incorrect decisions just because of that. Like it's one of those situations. Like facing long range like they were, that was really good, but pushing into second mid, that's too far.
Exactly. A long time ago, we saw Hellraisers lose from this kind of advantage on Inferno.
Yeah.
Although they were on the T side in fairness, if I remember correctly, which is quite a different prospect, but. Take nothing for granted. You're not at 16 until you're at 16.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, we'll go into this point a little bit later. We have a full buy round. This is a very important round here for Dignitas. As you say, you know, these comebacks can happen. Dignitas is a very capable team.
Oh, that team flush.
They just have to break the economy for Flipside. That's like the first mission. Break their economy and then figure it out from there. And take it round for round. Those are the main objectives here. And they've taken over Bananas. This is something Flipside were quite good at on their T side. Now, they've left a player there as well. This allows for the double back if they take middle and apartments control. So here is the smoke for Arch side from MSL. This will allow them an easier time of taking middle. And there's 2 players on Arch. They've got 4 players on A. Might not be expected by Dignitas. This could be troublesome.
Oh, they could boost. In fact, they are going for the boost. C's having a look over Blade, and he should get 2 frags here. Blade's going to get the frag through the smoke as well, and C's going to dink Nico. Will they be expecting a third person? Simple will. He's going to be hunting for Pimp as well. Going to take Pimp down. It's only aizy with no frags here for Dignitas. They need to do something as Flipside have 11 match points. Game points, excuse me.
I just want to just like re-emphasize how much of a manly man Blade is. Because Blade allowed himself to be the booster instead of the boostee in that position, and he was on fire, James. But he didn't move. He didn't move until like he could run away from the fire with like 3 HP left. And because of that, they were able to get an extra kill.
He's like some kind of Optimus Prime.
So that was very cool.
He's a fearless leader, Dan.
So potentially the last round here, we're going to have a mid push from Flipside together. They want to finish this off, and this is really, really nice actually, because it can also give you very fast rotations if they're just going to go for a straight up B rush. And also you've got really good engagements, even against the pistols.
Fire.
Doo -doo -doo. So they're going to take this one. Yes, Pimp can get shot down. 16-4, very easy map number 1. And, well, interesting. The next map is Cobble, and that's Flipside's choice. But they won map number 1 so well against Dignitas. And of course, Dignitas are playing with the stand-in. dupreeh standing in for Kirby. So
and seized for Markelov.
Oh, that's a good point actually. Seized is standing for Markelov. But Seized is doing really well actually in the lineup so far.
That was a monster map.
Do you have any points you want to make?
No, that was Dignitas' pick as well.
Yeah, it was.
Yes. Well, do you have any points, Dan?
I have 1 point I want to talk about before we go to break, because that was a really fast map anyway, right? So
the floor is yours.
So the stuff about Simple, right, is that when this is like a really big deal. If you want to be like a championship team or player, you need to like cultivate this mindset where you never give a single edge, no matter how much you're winning. You never you destroy your opponents or nothing. Like you always play. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like you never give them anything.
You play at your maximum all the time.
Exactly, yeah. So it doesn't matter how good they are. You always play like the best possible decision making, and like this creates like a really important image as well. Like this creates a very important image, because if you're going for like a team against a team like this, like for example, Fnatic had this kind of idea about them for a long time. Like if you just looked at Olofmeister, for example, like what does Olofmeister like give you? This guy will do anything to win. He'll do anything to destroy you. This is like the image that he has. Like in many games, you have these players, like these champion level players who will be winning tournaments, who have this mindset that is destroy everyone. I'm the best or nothing. Basically, there's no different. That's it. Mm-hmm. There's no in between there. You're either the best or you're nothing yourself. So
have a chat with Get Right when he comes second in a tournament, and you'll see. Yeah, you'll see that mindset.
So
he'll be furious.
And that's something for Simple that like just running down second mid, just like trying to get frags or like making weird decisions just because you're winning or something. It may not have been because they're winning loads, but that's like a really easy spot where you can get complacent. But you should like look at it instead of an opportunity like, oh, we've won the game, we can relax now. Instead of that and getting complacent, you look at it as an opportunity to just further destroy your opponents, basically. Make it as one-sided as possible. I just like to emphasize this because it's such like the mindset stuff is really important to me. So, and I find that cool. I think it's cool, guys. What do you find cool, James?
Fridges.
And breaks. All right, guys, it's time for a break. We'll go back live with the second map, which will be Cobble. It's Flipside's choice. They are now a map up. Both teams playing with a stand-in each. We will see you on the other side.